Yo, what is going on, guys? Clutch back again with another video for you guys. Now today this is a bit of a different one. It isn't the usual tactics video. This is going to be meta squads, the best teams for you guys to use on basically on certain price budgets. We're going to be doing a 125k squad, 125k squad I should say, 250k, 500k and a 1 mil squad. Kind of all the ranges I feel like most people might have at the start of the game this year. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, please drop a like, drop a sub. I will just say the team. I'll put the teams in as we go. It won't be too much explanations going on because we've got a lot to get through. So like I said, if you haven't already, please drop a like, drop a comment, and we are just going to get straight into it. So in goal, we do have Mendy in goal. Edouard Mendy. He is going to be our keeper. Again, just a solid keeper, especially for the Saudi league. You could obviously use Bunu as well, but for some of the players that we are using, he's a better choice. We do have Molina in there. Again, a good solid right back in La Liga. You just cannot really complain. He's got nice pace and good stats all in all. Koulibaly, again, a solid option. Again, nothing too mad. Obviously, he's quite cheap. A lot of the money ends up going on the attack for these teams, just because there are just so many good cheap defenders nowadays. Again, hit. Okay, where the hell has he gone? Hermoso is one of them. He is very solid on this game. I've used him a couple times. Again, a very solid. I'll select him. Okay, this game's being very weird. 1 second. Click on him. There we go. Again, another really solid player. Balde at left back, very solid, quick, meta exactly what you need. Good on the ball for the overlapping runs as well. You really can't complain when it comes to a cheap left back. We do have Gavi in centre midfield. He gets that perfect link to Balde. Very solid option. We do have Frank Kessie from the Saudi League, a card I think a lot of people are sleeping on this year. One that I personally have really enjoyed using. Very solid all-round card. Now on the right wing, we do have Riyad Mahrez, a very good card, especially for a budget like this. You're not going to actually get many better players for the value. We do have Sadio Mane going up front. Again, these cards are just so cheap for what they are. Mane, as much as he hasn't got the pace as he used to have, shooting's still good. Now, a card maybe some people might be surprised with. Cristiano Ronaldo. He is very solid. I've used him a few times, especially if you've got skill moves in your locker. Cristiano Ronaldo is still a very good card. Shooting's elite, and with skill moves and certain animations and stuff, he still is very solid. And we do have Alan St. Maximin on the left wing. Again, a very good, skillful meta card. So this would be your 125k squad. Nothing too crazy there. Now, for the what's it called? For the 250k squad, a fair few of these players do end up hanging around. So we will just remove the ones aren't in there. A lot of the defense is basically what ends up getting changed, but it basically just ends up being like these Saudi attackers. Honestly, are in a lot of the teams because they're just so good for the price range and the price value that it almost just feels silly not to have them. So what we do, we'll start in goal. So the keeper change is going to be Wojciech Szczesny. Again, a very solid keeper. Again, a card that you just can't really go wrong with, especially on this game. 86 rated for about 9k. You really cannot moan. Bremer, this card is probably going to be the most underrated centre back on the game. He is so good. Honestly, make sure you're using him if you aren't already. This guy's another one as well at left back, Spinazzola. He is so good. I've used him quite a few times on draft. I'm a big fan of using his card. Very solid all round, very rapid as well. You just cannot go wrong. Then we do have Di Lorenzo at. Let me do a space. Di Lorenzo at right back. He's so good on this game. Especially he is a bit pricey for a right back. It is about 40k. You can go for a cheaper option if you want to, but with a card like that, you just cannot go wrong. He's so good, so solid as well. We do have, and forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong, but Kvaratskhelia. he is like, look at his card, he's wicked. A card that, you know, just can't go wrong with. 5-star, 5-star. Just make sure you get him in your team for this kind of budget. He is unreal. And then, in my opinion, we do have one of the best centre mids in the game. I've used him a few times in draft, and I absolutely loved him. And as you can see, this gets full chemistry with no managers, no nothing. And this will be your 250k squad. And just look how good this team is already for 250k. It's kind of crazy, the teams that you can kind of build this year. Now, a lot of this team does end up changing. A lot of the back line stays fairly similar, but the attack is actually where it kind of, you know, it gets a bit different this time round, and the midfield as well. So yeah, so Di Lorenzo, Szczesny, Bremer, and Spinazzola stay, and so does Kvaratskhelia as well. It seems to be in this mid-range, like between this like 500k to a mil. There is a lot of value in the Serie A and La Liga. So our other centre back is going to be Fikayo Tomori. Again, a very solid card. You definitely can't go wrong. He's just so quick. So he's still very good defensively as well, which is what could actually surprise a lot of people with just how good defensively he is. Now, we do have another centre mid who is one of the best centre mids in the game. Marcus Llorente. Look at that card. How is he like 35k? It absolutely blows my mind. I have no clue at all. And again, we have, in my opinion, at least for what I have used so far, and I haven't used Putellas yet, the woman's card, Frankie de Jong is probably the best centre mid of the game. In terms of what I've personally used, he was outrageous. Now we do have Chiesa as well on the left wing. And obviously we put, as you saw, we put Kvaratskhelia on the right. Chiesa is a bit pricey at the moment, just due to the fact of the ready card, the Nike Mad ready card. But I wouldn't stress about that too much. Eventually his card, you know, like he'll be impacted properly, and you won't have anything to stress about. And then we do have Memphis Depay up top. Again, a solid attacking option. I kind of wish I could have had a better choice. But with who I wanted to get in the team, he just kind of ended up having to be in for chemistry. And then we do have Antoine Griezmann up front. Had a huge season last year. Better than I actually initially knew. And obviously a very solid card as well. 88 shooting, 87 passing, 88 dribbling. The card looks unreal. And with a manager, if you get an English La Liga manager, this team does get full chem. So you don't have to worry about that. You just need an English La Liga manager, just so you guys hear. So yeah, this will be your 500k team. And then what we will do, we'll go into the last team. Now, who stays and who goes? I think most of this team goes now. It does. Everyone but De Jong. What we will do... Right, let me just clear squad. Okay. Right, so we will just quickly... This will take me 1 second, but I just need to get rid of these cards. So the one, like I said, the one card, guys, that does stay in the team is Frankie de Jong. De Jong, like I said, for me, has been one of the best centre mids on the entire game. And just, you know, as we start to reach this like million coin kind of budget, you just don't really feel like you need as many budget options in defence, especially with the playstyles. Like, these playstyles are going to be so important. So with the defenders, you know, when you kind of start to reach this kind of budget, really want to kind of try and basically level the team up as much as you can. I don't know why it won't let me click anywhere else. So in goal, it is going to be Bunu from the Saudi League. Again, a very solid keeper. It is going to be Alaba as our left centre back. A very solid card, great on the ball as well. That's why I love him. I like to have good ball playing centre backs. You know, they can have a bit of a rougher time against some strong strikers sometimes, but for the way I like to play, he is perfect. Koundé is unreal, especially with the gold jockey play style. He is probably one of the best centre backs in the game. You do have to obviously kind of get comfortable with the fact that you are paying a lot of money for a centre back. I think he's around 170,000 coins right now. So, you know, just be comfortable with that if you're going to build this team. But he is unreal. We've got João Cancelo at right back, a very good ball playing centre back. And we do have the sweat guy himself, the one that everyone uses, Mr. Ferland Mendy. He's always so good. with those defensive stats and the pace, the height. He's just always unreal on the game. And then in right centre mid, we do have Starboy himself. At least my actual Starboy. I'm not calling Saka Starboy. Mr. Jude Bellingham, having an unreal season for Real Madrid already. And yeah, this defensive midfield, honestly, the core of this team is so good that the attackers, like, we've got some cheaper attackers to kind of make up a 1-star attacker. But the quality of that team already, like, I'm telling you, this team is very, very good. Now, Riyad Mahrez is going back on the right wing. I know, obviously, a couple of these cards were in our cheaper meta squad, but you will see why with who we have. We have, again, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo up top. We do have Sadio Mane again as well as our left striker. I assume a lot of you guys can guess where probably this squad is currently going, because at left wing we do have, in my opinion, outside of Mbappe, the best gold card on the game, Mr. Neymar Jr. He is absolutely unreal, especially if you use the skillster stuff. He is just a must-have in the team, and I will happily make my team worse to fit him in. The only chem option, the only kind of person you lose chem on is Mahrez. Obviously, there are managers and things like that you can put on him, you know, to make it not as bad and get him on full chem. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Like I said, there was a 125k, 250k, 500k, and a 1 million coin teams in here. If you want to see any other things like this in the future, please drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.